had become so sore, I had to quit my job.
You're tuned into Central Coast Inquirer here on the KZSC Santa Cruz. We're here with Tawd, Dorenfeld, filmmaker for the Anna Cabrini Chronicles.
Miss Conner, I gotta go.
It is about suicide.
Yeah, and they're all pretty much dead at the beginning of their stories.
That's true.
Yeah, you see it.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I don't really mind. Open book.
Carla went over all the stuff you can't say on the radio.
Oh yeah, I should tell you guys.
Fuck, shit, cocks.
Cocksucker, motherfucker. You have 20 seconds.
Dude, shut the fuck up! Eat shit! Then you gotta pay the goddamn bill! You'll take care for what? Fuck you!
The thing that stuck with me the most out of this film was not so much the content. The content, well, it's hard to say, because the content was highly disturbing, I would say, but the production was amazing.
Oh, thanks.
I think it's really artfully done, and I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about the process of making this film.
I want to be dead. Do you hear me, God? I want to be dead.
You know, I'm hands-on. All those actors are being physically manipulated by me while they're on set. So, you know, no prima donnas in my world. I'm gonna touch you.
I knew better! Wait.
But I parts of it are very difficult to watch. I would say that this film isn't, people who are super sensitive, and it's a hard film to.
Oh yes, it is, because they need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. A super sensitive person has got to see what somebody looks like when they're dying.
We've been joined by another individual here, Trey Spruance, I assume.
Yeah, fashionably
Well,
late.
hello, sir.
You didn't see out of your
He snuck right up on you there.
hard to see through solid iron.
Formerly of Mr. Bungle and Faith No More, and he was the person who did the entire original score for this feature film.
And one little snippet from the local band called ISS.
Oh, okay.
It's a tiny little cameo in
A
it.
Santa Cruz band?
Yeah.
Hey, screw up, ¿a dónde estabas?
It's raw and extended, and it feels very honest when I was looking at it.
Oh, thank you.
But she's cataloged these three, either mentally ill, depressed, suicidal people by giving them audio tapes.
When I was 6 weeks old, my mother was shipped off to a mental institution.
To go around and record their thoughts and their feelings, and that's where all this stuff comes from.
Yeah, but the audio tapes allow them to be just completely individual voices for themselves, and it isolates so that we can pay attention to one person.
They're like diaries.
Yeah, very much like a diary.
Into the laps of you children that forgot how to speak. Did you ever hear the screams of fishes?
And I should mention too that a lot of the story is told through music or some kind of form of the combination of music and their thoughts and how they're expressing them.
Different representations of animals, different areas where they could be free in.
I wanted to ask you a little bit about your thought process. What were you thinking in collaborating with Tawd here?
Yeah, what were you thinking?
A few checkups every 6 months when my doctor is.
Trying to understand what he was getting at from, because, you can imagine I was getting little pieces of the thing. A lot of times without even any audio, or with stuff like of music of mine that he had cut some of the parts to, just pre-existing stuff. So a lot of it was trying to get into his head, see where he's coming from, and then when he presented me with dialogue and audio and stuff like that, we realized that the music and the dialogue had to be worked together, as if the dialogue tracks are sort of part of the composition. He was always encouraging me to work at it that way.
I surely had to have known how
bad it could get. I used to hit it out. I pointed out to him.
So I ended up with the job of Foley and sound editor also, which was great because, I mean, it was a lot of more work, but it also gave, you know, if you do it the way a lot of, I guess the way modern film scoring goes, you just have a bunch of music, give it to the guy, and then they put it together and that's it. And this was really involved. I had to understand as much as I could about where he was coming from, which also played into the writing of the tunes. Because sometimes, you know, you have a little sound that's going to happen right after somebody says something.
Yo, what's up, Cabrini? I want to see some tits.
You can have a musical setup for that to sort of convey the emotional undertone, you know, which was what you're supposed to do when you're writing a soundtrack. I mean, I don't know, because I don't really do this, you know?
It's very much more like...
You know, I guess you were kind of scoring a cartoon, right? Because if you look at old Carl Stalling stuff in cartoons, every single little hand gesture has to have a sound.
Fuck her first.
I would say definitely that this was definitely scored more in the spirit of Carl Stalling than Ennio Morricone. Except Jonathan. You know, even though it's not really music,
Music itself.
You know what I mean? It's a composition that's based entirely on, you know, everything is written for that moment. The other two, Merrick and Brooke, were, you know, a lot of different pieces that were being put together to sort of help convey their disordered minds.
So it's not just like music setting up what this person says. That sound clip is then used, like in other parts, well, not other parts, but, you know, within that part of the film.
I mean, it's pretty cool to have the ability to do the score, to handle the dialogue, and do the Foley editing.
I helped everyone. I did the dishes. I get my room clean as can be.
All of them. It gives you a lot of. I mean, that's something to Tawd's credit. I don't think anybody's been asked to cover all of that ground with something. It's pretty fun.
Mealworm. Oh, what pig? Fuck your mother. Garbage. Fuck you. PTA stands for Piranha Tooth Asshole.
Eric Young presents A Just Cause. Yeah, because you could play with my dialogue.
Yeah.
Where generally speaking, it's just a line of dialogue, make sure your audience understands it, move on to the next line of dialogue. And everything's got to be crystal clear and sound perfect, and you got to be able to hear every word.
And this is yours or not? Hello, I'm Michelle, Miss Martha, Miss yourself.
But, you know...
But it was all recorded, the dialogue was recorded so badly that would happen anyway. So.
Badly, because it's great that way.
What do you mean badly? Was it on a...
We didn't have any money.
This is ghetto tech. This whole thing is ghetto tech. Big time.
Well, you certainly can't tell.
Good.
So...
That's to Tawd's credit. He knows how to do this stuff.